The Tesla Model Y has been officially out since March, but right after production began, they actually had to shut down their factory. So I think they made a little under 10,000 right before their factory closed. I'm not sure the exact number. But for now, I'm going to explain how the Tesla Model Y, as pricey as it is, legitimately pays for itself, and how it has done so for me, someone who would never normally buy a luxury car. For a lot of people, the Model Y is incredibly exciting because it's the first crossover SUV that's electric that gets over 300 miles that isn't in the crazy price range of the Model X, which starts at $80,000. The Model Y long range today starts at $52,990, and they should be coming out early next year with the standard range version starting at about $41,000. It's the perfect car for people who wanted a Model 3 but needed a little more storage space, like me, but the problem is Teslas are still more expensive than their gas equivalents. This is mostly due to the cost of battery production at this point, which Tesla should be announcing is getting better or cheaper in September, and I'm excited to see what's coming with that. So far in my ownership of the Model Y, I've paid for the car by utilizing the car in 5 specific ways. The first thing I got to help pay for my Model Y is something that everybody can get, and that is cash incentives. Now, unfortunately, federal incentives are gone for the Model Y, but there still remain private and state incentives. Now, these vary depending on where you live, but it's encouraging people to go for clean vehicles that don't pollute the air, and so that's why these programs exist, and depending on your state, you could have a really, really great one. In the state of California, for going electric, you'll actually get a rebate check from the Clean Vehicle Rebate Project. For the Model Y, the amount I got, and the amount you would get as well in California, is $2,000, and that can easily cover any work you want to get done, maybe installing a home charger, or even just covering a few months of the car payment. Next, my power company is Southern California Edison, and they also have a rebate check that is $1,000 for buying an electric car. Now, the purpose of this is that it would cover the cost of a home charger, which in most cases it should. In my case, it definitely completely covered the cost. But it is just a check, and you can use it however you want because the power company wants you to buy an electric car, because instead of fueling your car with gas, you're now paying the electric company to get fuel. So those are the 2 main rebates that I was able to get in California that totaled $3,000. Now keep in mind that most of these took a little bit of time to process, like 90 days or more, so it's not like going to help you out with the down payment or anything, and it doesn't come through until after you've actually purchased the car, but it will come through. Now, I financed the Model Y, and again, it's not a cheap car, so the payment is not going to be cheap either, and it's actually costing me $816 a month to pay for this car. So as part of my mission to get the Model Y to pay for itself, I tried something new this month, which was Turo. Now, if you don't know what Turo is, it's essentially Uber, but for car rentals. So if you're going somewhere else and you need to rent a car, or you want to just check out the car, instead of renting it from Hertz or something, you rent it from an individual. Usually this allows you to have more control over the timeline and control over which car specifically you're choosing, and overall I think the experience is better. There's a whole screening process for drivers as well as hosts, so it's really safe, just like Uber, and there's also Turo provided insurance if you opt in for that. So I went ahead and listed my Model Y on Turo, and you can go in there and block out any days that you actually need the car, and right now I'm not commuting all that much, so I actually had a good amount of openings right there, and right away I got a big influx of people wanting to test drive the Model Y and check it out for themselves. Since the Model Y is so new, I don't think I've seen it at any showrooms. There may be a couple exceptions there, but overall it doesn't seem like it's at showrooms, and it doesn't seem like it's something you can test drive. Even if test drives are available, renting on Turo is something that a lot of people like to do because you actually get to spend the whole day with the car, maybe go through your normal routine and see what it's like driving this car if you really want to purchase it. Compared with a test drive, which is probably going to be the best version of that car, and you're just going to get to do some quick acceleration, some turns, see how it works, and it's going to be under 30 minutes with the car. If you want to check out Turo, you can click the link in the description below. As a Turo host, I went with the option that gives me 70% of the earnings, and the rest goes to Turo and to insurance. And usually I've seen the Model Y listed at anywhere from $150 to $300 per day, and I've kept mine pretty much at $199 per day. So with 1 rental at the end of May and 4 across the month of June, I actually made $835 on Turo, which as it turns out covers the car payment. Just another way that the Model Y is actually paying for itself. I know many Tesla owners that do this to help pay off their car. Whether they need to or not, it's just nice that it can kind of pay for itself. And I do know that the Model Y demand is going to be a little higher right now because there's less of them and there's more people wanting to try them out, and you can't go try them out at a showroom right now. But even so, I know some Model 3 owners who own a Model 3 today, and they're still renting it out on Turo successfully and making their car payment. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so that more people can find it. Thanks. As with everything, there's of course some work involved. I mean, I have to follow some protocols. I clean and sanitize the car before and after each customer, but overall, it's not that much work. It's something I definitely couldn't do without owning the car because, let's be honest, who wants to pay $200 to rent a 2008 Honda Fit on Turo? That was my old car. I plan to keep my car on Turo and see what happens. I mean, if I'm not driving it and it can be earning money for me, that's pretty great. We'll see if it keeps up paying off my car payment, or if maybe the excitement of the Model Y dies down a little bit and it ends up not making much. But either way, it's a pretty cool option, I guess, until the robotaxi comes out, which we'll see. So around October, I started watching all these channels talking about the Model 3, and I really wanted to get a Model 3. But when I test drove it, I realized I definitely couldn't fit drums in there, so then I became obsessed with the Model Y. I already needed a new car soon, so ultimately I decided I would just put down $2,500, which was the order fee then, and it was refundable, and worst case scenario, if it comes time and I can't afford it, then I will cancel the order. But I made a YouTube video about it. I focused in on the Model Y with my initial videos, and it actually gained some traction pretty quick since a lot of people were wondering about the Model Y, but at the same time there wasn't all that much information out there about it. I started making weekly videos about it or comparing it to other cars, and over the course of about 2 or 3 months, I got to the point where I had 1,000 subscribers, which means you can monetize on YouTube. My initial goal was just to make $500 a month, because in my mind I already needed a new car, so I was going to have a car payment, and that $500 could make up the difference between, say, getting another Honda Fit and getting a luxury Tesla. Well, I kept at it, and thank you all so much for watching because my subscribers have grown to over 26,000 now. So for the first few months that I was able to actually get YouTube earnings, I saved up all of that money, and when it came time for delivery, I put all of that towards a down payment, and then I financed the rest with Tesla, which actually ended up being through Wells Fargo Auto at a rate of 3.5%. Once I took delivery of the Model Y, I started making regular videos with it, and they actually ended up doing pretty well because a lot of people were curious about it, and again, not a lot of people had this car. Now, of course, I put in the work to actually make these videos, but there's no way I could have made a review talking about what it's like from the perspective of an owner if I didn't own the car. Now, we all know YouTube isn't perfect, and it's not like that is entirely going to pay for the car, and I can't count on that at all. I'm going to keep making videos and trying to provide value for everyone, but I know that I need other ways to pay for the car, which is why I use Turo, as well as the next couple things I'll mention. One thing I am planning to do to help keep the car clean and make it easier to clean for Turo specifically is getting some all-weather floor mats. Now, the Model Y does come with floor mats, but they're not the greatest, but the best ones are the 3D Max Spider mats, and those are coming soon. Compared with other floor mats, these fit better, last longer, and they're overall higher quality. And if you want to check those out, you can click the link in the description below to get them from Tesla Ratti, who actually has the first run of them, and they're running a discount on it right now. So those floor mats that I just mentioned move us on to the fourth way that the Model Y pays for itself. Affiliate links. Most companies utilize affiliate links to encourage customers to share their products with other people, and it gives them a little bit of an incentive. Amazon does this, Bluehost does this, and you guessed it, so do Tesla accessory companies. Affiliate links mean that when you click the link in the description, it's actually a specific link that is tied to me. So if you click the link and actually buy those floor mats that I mentioned, I'll get a tiny percentage of that sale at no extra cost to you. Now, affiliate programs can definitely be abused, and I'm sure you've seen this done before with YouTubers just flip-flopping on products, just recommending whatever they want to recommend because they're getting paid for it, or because they want to get that commission. In the case of my channel, you've probably noticed that I don't mention products all that much, and that's because I only recommend the products that I 100% plan on using. And then I apply affiliate links to those. But this doesn't just apply for Tesla accessories. If you look in the description below, I actually have a whole list of everything I use to make my videos as well. And it's the exact same thing. If you're watching this and you like the way the image looks and you're curious about the camera, you can click in the description and click on the camera. And then if you buy that camera, I get a tiny percentage of that. Amazon at this point is actually at 5%, so it's really small. And I can check in my account, so this has actually worked out a couple times where it seems like people are interested in what camera lens this is. They click the link there, and then they actually buy it, and I get a tiny percentage of that sale. So this is where you might be saying, Ryan, this has nothing to do with getting the Model Y to pay for itself. This is a camera lens on Amazon. Well, actually, it was in the description of a video talking about the Model Y. And the Model Y is a popular subject, and more than likely, that person would not have even watched one of my videos if it didn't happen to be about the Model Y that I owned. Paying for itself. At this point, through affiliate links, I don't make nearly what I make on Turo, but I mean, every bit helps, and if it's recommending great products to people, I'm all about it. Alright, last but not least, and in a similar fashion, is the Tesla Referral program. Now, you've probably seen a referral link in the description of my videos or in the description of most videos talking about Teslas in general. That is because Tesla has a referral program where if you use my link, you get 1,000 free supercharger miles. I also have this linked on my Twitter, which you can check out at Ryan Shaw Tech, and that page has gained most of its traction because of my interest in the Model Y. So if someone follows that link and ends up buying a Tesla, they're going to get 1,000 free supercharger miles, but so do I. Now this isn't at all the same as cash, it doesn't convert in any way, I guess unless you're one of the lucky ones that wins the Model Y referral drawing. So this adds up over time, and at this point I have enough referrals to the point where I can pretty much take a road trip anywhere and it's going to be 100% free. Obviously I'm not paying for gas, but I'm not paying for charging fees either because I have all these free miles that anytime I go to a Tesla supercharger I can use, and Tesla superchargers are the most common chargers all around the United States. As a matter of fact, in a few weeks I'm planning to drive from Los Angeles to Seattle to visit my brother, and that trip is going to be 100% covered with supercharger referral miles. Now I don't have a supercharger all that close to my house, and on top of that it's not the best for the battery to be supercharging all the time. But in theory, if I live close to one, I could just use supercharger miles all the time and never actually pay to drive the car. So because of the popularity of the Model Y and the fact that I'm talking about it on YouTube and Twitter, it leads people to use my link, and then in turn, I get to drive the Model Y for free. So just to review how the Model Y really does pay for itself, right off the bat I got $3,000 in incentives, and depending on your state you can get quite a bit more. Then I've been renting it out on Turo, which is pretty much no work at all besides cleaning the car, making sure it's sanitized, and then someone else takes the car for me, Turo handles all the insurance, and then I get paid. And last month, Turo actually entirely covered my car payment. Then I saved up all of my YouTube earnings talking about the Model Y for a few months and was able to put that towards a down payment on the car. On my YouTube and Twitter page, I was able to put affiliate links and make a tiny bit of money through that, recommending certain products. And lastly, the Tesla referral program has helped me fuel the Model Y totally for free. So what do you think about what I've done to pay off the car so far? Would you let someone rent out your car on Turo? Let me know what you think in the comments below. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to this channel for lots more videos about the Model Y, Tesla, and tech in general. And I also actually just started another channel called And More, where I'm going to get more in depth about the Model Y specifically. If you want to check that out, it's linked up here or in the description below. Also, make sure to like this video if you appreciated it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.